Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles, to the bishops, to the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, which taught me this truth. Who are the true leaders of Israel today? And also peace, love, blessings, and salutations unto the elect. All right, Shalom. And, forgive me for my voice. I'm a little hoarse at the moment. But yeah, man, I just wanted to go into a lesson real quick. Basically doing a lesson about, this guy right here that you see on the screen. I know a lot of people are familiar with this guy, Judge Joe Brown. And pretty much, man, just the newest, well, I'll say it like this, just another scoffer, man, just another non-believer. Pretty much a old bottle, a old crusty ass, dusty bottle, who think he knows some. He thinks he knows something just because he's been on this world for a certain period of time, which he probably thinks he has wisdom because of his age and because he's been on this world for a particular period of time. He may think he's been on this world for a long time, but to the Heavenly Father, to Yahweh Shem Shai, he's only been on this planet for a few seconds, man, very short time. And just because you have age on you, that don't mean you have wisdom, man. And he's just the latest example, of just these scoffers, man, coming out of the woodwork. Whether Esau paid him to talk about the Hebrew Israelites, whatever the case may be, right? But hey, at the end of the day, we know what this is, man. Real quick. This is St. Luke chapter 5. And let's start at verse 36. And he spake also a parable unto them. No man putteth a piece of a new garment upon an old. If otherwise, then both the new maketh a rent, and the piece that was taken out of the new agreeth not with the old. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles. Now, when you read the scriptures, a lot of times wine is synonymous with what? With doctrine. So the new wine would be what? This new song, this truth. And see, a lot of these people, they can't grasp this new wine, this new song that's being sung, because the Lord got them blinded, man. As it says in Romans the 11th chapter, Romans 11 and 7 and verse 8. As a matter of fact, I'll grab that real quick. Romans chapter 11, verse 7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for. Yeah, Israel, they seeking for the truth, but it's in all the wrong places, man. And then, when they think they have grasped some truth, they have the nerve to be proud, not even knowing what the hell they're talking about. See, Judge Joe Brown, this nigga thinks that he's a black person. He think that he's an African-American man with some knowledge. But he don't even know who his enemy is, man. And I ain't even watched the full interview. Don't really need to. I already see the direction that he's going in. Y'all can go and watch it. But you can see in the background, he has those, red, yellow, green, and black colors. And, that's kind of synonymous with that pro-black movement. Because I believe Judge Joe Brown got to at least be in his 70s, man. So he was here, during the civil rights and all of that, man. So he's just an old bottle, probably pro-black. And, does he say some things that are true? Yes, he does. He says a lot of things that are true. But see, a lot of times guys like this, they fuck up when they try to, start going into the Bible and talking about the Israelites. Hey, man, stay in your lane, man. That's the problem with guys like this, man. They don't know how to stay in their lane. Hey, man, you just a glorified, so-called judge that had a little TV show, man. You ain't nobody, man. But you can't tell him that, man. You can tell he's full of pride, so on and so forth, man. But that's all right, because at the end of the day, he's going to be confounded very soon. So it says, Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for. but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. He's not of the elect. Okay, he's blinded. Okay, and it's funny that I have a I stopped the video where I stopped it at because it kind of looks like he's squinting. That's just spiritual, man. He's blinded. He can't see the truth. Okay, he's an old bottle. But at the end of the day, this truth is only for the elect, man. Right? And the Lord has guys like this. Okay, the Lord has him blinded. Okay, but I'm sure you can't tell him that. He wouldn't think so. But the Lord has this guy blinded, man. He can't see the truth, nor can he understand it, because he's not of the elect. Okay? According as it is written, the Most High, Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. Right? So, this guy, Joe Brown, because he's not even a judge, right? He's a fake judge. You're not a real judge. Okay? Like, you play a judge on TV, man. And that's what he needs to stick to, man. Just stick to your little TV land, man. Don't try to, obtain things that are too far beyond your comprehension, man. Oh, I'm gonna have to call the Zaquan back. But yeah, this video ain't gonna be too long. Give me a second. Let me go back. I believe I was in Luke the 5th chapter. This is Luke chapter 5, verse 37. And no man putteth new wine into old bottles, else the new wine will burst the bottles and be spilled, and the bottles shall perish. So this guy right here, he can't obtain this truth, right? This new wine is too pure for his old bottle. Okay, it will burst. So he can't obtain this truth, man. Okay, now it's always exceptions to the rule. You have some guys that's in their 50s that may come into this truth. I know a brother in the GMS Charlotte camp. The brother's name is Lamad, and he came into the faith while he was up in age, man. He's an older brother. But at the same time, like I said, when it comes to Yahweh Shema Shai, it's always exceptions to the rule, man. Okay? But yeah, speaking about Joe Brown, right? This nigga, look, at the end of the day, you will have a lot of our people that will revere this guy and think that he's, on some type of level. Man, this old dusty ass, Mr. Potato Head ass nigga is not on no level, man. Okay? At the end of the day. Now, in this society, he has worldly wisdom, but he don't have true wisdom, man. Hey, leave that to the true Hebrew Israelites, man. Okay? The true men of the Lord, man. See, Jake always try to, go into the scriptures, man. And that's when they start fucking up. They'll say some pretty, good things, and then they'll try to start going into the scriptures. Stay in your lane, nigga. Okay? But new wine must be put into new bottles, and both are preserved. So usually, the Lord has brothers coming into this truth at a young age, man. While they're still in their strength. So they can go out and teach, man, and do the work. Verse 39, no man also having drunk old wine straightway desire of new, for he saith the old is better. So a guy like this, he'll say that the old is better, right? The whole Black Power movement. He probably was all with that, man. Probably, used to have the Freedom Fro, the Afro pick with the black fist, the Black Power fist. Hey, look, man, this truth, it ain't no black only thing, man, when it comes to the Israelites, man. Because that's another thing, too. When you watch this video, he makes mention, he says, I don't know why black people are trying to call themselves Jews. First of all, it's not a black thing. Okay, we're not black people. We're brown, different shades of brown. And it ain't just so-called Negroes, man. You got to think about the Latinos and the Native Americans and the so-called Hispanics as well. But that's far beyond this guy's comprehension, man. This nigga don't know what's going on, man. I'm about to wrap it up. Let me grab this right here. Ezekiel chapter 12. As a matter of fact, let me grab this. Salakia. Yeah, this is what I wanted. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers. In the last days of what? Esau, Edom's rulership. That's another thing that this nigga don't understand, man. He don't understand that we in the last few seconds of Esau, Edom ruling, right? But guess what? Judge, well, like I said, I ain't calling this nigga no judge. He ain't no real judge. Joe Brown, he's comfortable in his society. Like, yeah, he'll get on these podcasts and he'll talk his little shit, speak his little knowledge. But at the end of the day, this nigga comfortable with Esau ruling over his ass, man. He ain't got no problem with that. Because at the end of the day, Jake don't really want no real rulership, man. That's why they're trying to come against the Hebrew Israelites. But that's all right, man. At the end of the day, he's going to be confounded, just like the rest of these niggas that try to come against us, man. It says, walking after their own lust and saying, where's the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. For this they willingly are ignorant. Of that by the word of the Most High, the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. So he gonna end up catching a missile, man, if the Lord don't take him out before that, man. He's just another scoffer that's waiting to get destroyed, man. All right. And I'll end off on this right here. 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity, the word incredulity means unbelief. Let not the incredulity or unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Why not? Well, verse 4 is going to tell us. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. You see, so a nigga like this, man, at the end of the day, we make lessons on this guy, but he don't get it, man. He's going to die in his unfaithfulness, man. Just like the rest of you scoffers, man. But anyways, man, Lord willing, this quick lesson was edifying. And until next time, shalom.